Video and the intro.
Alrighty.
About time to get started here.
I like it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the NFT Crypto Crew.
Okay.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. It's your boy Gig. You know what it is. It's rug season.
Oh, it's rug season.
It's rug season.
And BettyBoof, she is a victim.
She is. I saw her post on Twitter earlier. Well, I was in a spaces with her like the other day. Yesterday, I think. Hey, you hear me?
Hello?
Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
BettyBoof, the
How's it-
latest victim in the Snuggles rug.
How's it going? How's it going?
Pretty good. What an interesting day it's been with that stuff.
Yeah, I saw you like saw you in the spaces with the cats yesterday, and then I saw your Twitter post about the rug, and I know like Rikage and some of the guys in the Ice DAO have been trying to like put out some educational info about like safety in the NFT and Web3 space. So when I saw your thing, I was like, you know, she seems kind of new to the scene a little bit. Maybe we can like chat with her about her experience and see what happened.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy. Not easy, but a simple situation. Saw something that was cute. I was like, oh, this is pretty neat. Did very little research.
But how did they prey on you? Did they hit you up in the DMs?
Did you?
No. I want to say it was something on. It was on the timeline, and it was somebody that posted about it. And then
Okay.
I was like, oh, these are pretty cool. These are pretty neat, the little animated little whatever they are. And then I thought, maybe I'll buy one for my niece and nephews. And then the whole point of that whole little NFT thing was to get the NFT, and they were going to produce, or you can have produced that NFT into a toy. So,
Okay.
Okay.
I see.
so I was, yeah. So it was like a cool little thing that they were going to do. And I was like, well, I mean, if I'm going to gap anything, maybe I should do this, get this for my niece and nephews, get them all their little own ledgers and stuff. And they have this NFT with this toy that came with it. And maybe they'll be into this. But,
Okay. Oh my god.
And so you saw the post, and were they on? You went onto a marketplace.
No, they were on Magic Eden.
They're on Magic Eden.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. They were on Magic Eden. I mean, as much research that I did do, it looked legit. I mean, I went into the Discord. They were talking. There's the future. There's this. There's that.
Okay.
I mean, you can see the holders talking, and then it was like, okay, you know what? This is kind of cool, and it's not gonna kill me purchasing these little things, and it'd be kind of neat.
What was the mint price on that?
Yeah, so do you know anything about the mint? No.
Oh, you know what? I'll tell you because so randomly someone hit me up that's a part of what I'm assuming. So it all came really quick and there's so much chatter. But I believe he's a part of the project, and he kind of got the shit in. Yeah, he's kind of got the shit end of the stick, and that's who everybody was going after in the Discord. So then he had posted something, and a few other people also commented, and a few other bad cats actually. So they started like doing research and finding everything out exactly who this person is or where they come from. I mean, they've gotten that far. They know exactly where the wallets are and where the money's gone and when the last transfer of money is at this point.
Okay.
But yeah, like, oh shoot, I totally forgot where I was at with that.
So did you are you like how long have you been doing in the NFT scene? Are you relatively new?
Yeah, June.
Okay.
June.
So a few
All
few
right.
months. Okay.
Yeah.
And is like, have you been in a few before the Bad Cats? Any like, what was your first few that you got into?
Okay, so the first thing that I was able to get into was the East project called Dented Field.
Okay.
Pretty cool community, interesting little NFT. I vibed with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's kind of really not gone anywhere, but it's kind of like in limbo. It's
Yeah.
walking. It's just not running.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And then I was in the spaces and I was hearing the Bad Cat guys in there, and then I was hearing Liberty Square guys in there heavily, nonstop. And when Liberty Square minted, I ended up scoring on some of those.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard really good things about those.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
so
on the secondary market, they were very, very reasonable at the beginning.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, so it seems like, these projects are coming up with like, seems like they keep coming up with new ways to try to take advantage of people or rug people, because it wasn't like, they kind of just left directly.
Yeah, it wasn't half-assed at all. Like, it wasn't a cheap project. It wasn't half-assed. It had momentum. People were into it.
It seemed totally legit.
And for all intents and purposes, it's really not a bad rug. I mean, it's 1,000 Sol was stolen. I mean, in the future, who knows what Sol will be, but now it's like $30,000. Usually these things make away with like a few $100,000,
Yeah, we're looking at the Rad Rugs thing you retweeted.
Yeah.
So
it seems, well, I mean, let's see where the Rad Rugs thing is.
It says 1,036 Sol with 10 wallets. Potentially linked to Balloonsville. I remember when that happened. So these are the guys looking into it.
Those are other guys that contacted the other guys looking into it.
Okay.
So there's another guy that posted something, Canadian Tuck Soul.
Okay.
And let me see. I should just retweet it. Nothing that's too.
Yeah, if you retweet it, I'll pull it up here.
What a day it's been. Is there anything you think? Oh, perfect.
Okay. So I'm just going to read through this really quick. Hey, Solana and Magic Eden. Let's catch up and stop these Balloonville ruggers from getting away with theft. Their creator royalty addresses are here. Okay, so they're like looking into it. So they think it's the same guys from Balloonsville.
Yeah.
Doing it again. Yeah. And it seems like they kind of, a lot of these guys just they can get away with it multiple times.
Yeah.
They've found a way to craft these projects that create hype and create these promises, and they get some cool art, or they hire artists on Fiverr or something, and then they launch these Discords and Twitters, and then as soon as they get a good chunk of change, they kind of just vanish. I'm assuming you kind of just saw like, did they just close the Discord on you, or did you go to like the Twitter and see?
Everything was open until today. Everything was open until today. There was less chatter like the past few days, and then I saw something on it that it was a rug, and I was like, damn, those things were really cute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And and then I started looking into it, and I was like, oh, holy shit, the Discord's gone, the Twitter's gone. I was like, whoa.
Then you realize at that point.
Quick.
So it had
Yeah.
So how long?
Yeah.
How long had it been going for? Do you know like how long ago they started?
I do not, because everything's just gone now.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been in it for like 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. That's kind of seems like a long.
That is like a long rug.
It seems like a long kind of rug, huh? I guess they were just getting more people to buy in, maybe.
Yeah, they were just building it up like as a long-term thing.
They were just like building up Yeah, it's tough because we're trying to find ways to like decipher projects you may want to stay away from, and we're just trying to get your experience or maybe anything that you're looking back in hindsight and seeing now that maybe this seemed a little off, or maybe there's something I should look for in the future. I know.
There's a few things I've seen, like not just this specific thing, but other things I've been on, like the spaces where they're sponsored and they come up and they talk real big talk. And usually when somebody speaks in absolutes, they're full of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when they're saying we have gapped gapped Web 2 and Web 3, we have done this. It's like, oh God, you're super full of it, because the biggest companies can't do it right now. So how the fuck did you do it?
I see. Yeah. So they're promising, like they're gonna
over-promising a little bit.
They're promising these IRL. Maybe they were promising, we're gonna bring you these IRL plushie toys or something from your NFTs.
Yeah.
And
or like some of these other ones are like when they have like some kind of a lawyer figure representing them in a space talking about the project itself, and when that person goes in circles or can't talk about this or there's an NDA, it's like, then what the fuck are you doing here?
Yeah.
We're here for information. You're trying to sell us on this, and you're doing a poor job.
So it seems like maybe they're doing that as a cover-up because there's no information. They didn't plan on actually doing it.
Oh, for sure, but those are like all flags at this point.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
too bad I didn't see these guys, or they didn't speak. I only really went off of what I could find on the internet.
How long after the mint did you realize I just got rugged?
Well, she said she was in it for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. I didn't even mint. I got it on secondhand.
Oh, I thought it was. I thought you had I thought you'd been in the pre-mint for 2 weeks. It minted and then they rugged.
No. I rarely even do any of that stuff. I mean, if I see it as if I can get it, I can get it, and I'm not really going to work that hard to.
So you'd really have to let a project sit for like maybe 4 weeks, probably a month before, if you wanted to be that safe about it,
At this point, yeah. But then, if you think about it that way, I could be losing a lot.
Yeah,
for
definitely.
doing that.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna sit around and wait a month before I start buying a bunch of bad cats.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have really been screwed at that point. I wouldn't even have joined. And I mean, I scored on mine when it came to that too. So like,
yeah, you have the really cool one. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. I think you did make a good point though, that if they're like making these big promises, like, oh, we're the next big thing, we're branching Web 2 to Web 3, we got all the legal stuff found out. I heard some of that stuff from Ledger.
Yeah. It reminds me of the geckos a little bit. It
reminds me of this project, this first NFT project I got in, did a lot of over promising. They promised like this full on game, like a really cool, play to earn game, and it's going to be the next big thing. And a lot of people in that community kind of trusted them, and it seems like that's a reoccurring thing. If they're really promising like a big thing, and if you've never seen it before, it's tough to really buy that they're going to be the next big thing that's going to blow everything out of the water. The guys. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, I mean the projects I've seen that are doing really well, like they're doing the basic things and they're doing it well. They're not, they're not promising this massive, huge game or bringing on, tons of Web 2 stuff. They're kind of just doing the basics. They're rewarding their holders. They're coming out with new drops. They're putting out new traits or whatever.
Yeah, a lot of the time, you don't feel like they're full of shit. Every time I feel like someone's full of shit, it's always...
They're always full of it.
Always full of it, yeah. A lot of the genuine projects, at least that we're a part of, the creators or the founders of the team are very realistic, or they're very careful with their words. But these other projects that just rug, I mean, they just start promising you the world.
But it's so hard to get that though. How many founders, how many representatives are actually speaking and saying and like involving themselves? So, when you go off of hearsay because you did hear one guy speak and he's vouching for somebody, it's just it's a weird gray area of do I? Do
Yeah.
I not?
And then you get FOMO, and you're like, I just want to. I don't care if it's a rug. I'll get rugged.
Yeah, she's going. Yeah. No, yeah, I have a few soul set aside just that I'm ready to lose.
Yeah, it's like going to the casino. You play with money you're comfortable losing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's how I kind of take it. If I go to the casino, I go to the craps table, I put $100 down. I lose that 100, I'm not putting another 100 in. But I double that 100, I take that 100 out, put it in my pocket, and keep on playing with that other one. And
yeah, that's
3 times, 4 times, whatever you can. Because this is not my life savings I've put into this. No way. This is my life savings. It's not even a car, but like
it's a loan against the life insurance.
Fathom. Yeah, it's crazy to fathom that people will be like, I'm gonna put all this money in and I'm gonna hit.
We had a couple put in their life savings into the first project.
Yeah.
There was one I wanted to quickly highlight today, while I have you on and while we're covering this. You're in the Ice DAO? Are you in there at all?
Yeah.
In the Discord? Yeah. Okay. They gave me a mint, and I love what they're doing, and I love that they're giving out the whitelists. But I do want to let people know to be careful because they gave us this whitelist to Psycats.
Ruggish.
And it looked cool. I was getting ready to mint it today, and then the Discord seemed kind of strange. It was a ton of hype. They had like 50,000 followers on Twitter, but like there wasn't a lot of the mint was going very, very slow. There was like 8,800 NFTs, and there were like only about 1,000 minted, and they claimed they gave out all these whitelists. That was my first turn off. It seemed totally overhyped. It seemed like they bought a lot of their followers.
Yeah.
And then they're promising like that this staking in this game is going to come out right after launch, as soon as once they finally mint out. And then like I go to their website and it looks kind of like it was done pretty quickly. Like their staking says,
it looks like Comic Sans fonts, if you ask me.
Yeah, their staking's like, coming soon. People keep asking when. They're like, once we mint out, we'll get that up. Like once I see a couple signs like that, it's like, okay, this is like clearly it's tough to see, I guess, if you're like me. Like a year ago, I might have like potentially minted this, but like now, being here for a little bit of time, it's pretty easy to start to tell like, all right, this is just a cash grab. They're just going to mint out, and it's going to just trickle away into nothing. Maybe it's a day, maybe it's a week, maybe it's a month, but
yeah,
it's going to like...
Especially with it being rug season, you're very much aware.
It's October.
Yeah.
You know October's rug season, right?
Oh, I did not get that memo.
It's not like... It's just a joke, but like it does seem like there's a lot of that going on now.
Yeah, especially the fall last year, there's a lot of that happening too.
And yeah.
But how do you fix such a problem? I mean, in the real life, we do business with people, we get to meet people, and we can decide this person's shitty.
Yeah. In
Web3, everybody hides behind a screen. Everybody communicates with each other, but nobody really knows each other, and everything's hearsay at this point.
Yeah, and it moves so fast,
and you can't even trust Magic Eden. I mean, Magic Eden doesn't know because you don't know. There's nothing you can rely on except directly from the team, really.
Yeah, Magic Eden's putting everything out basically. So, I think I'm trying to, put out information and content and inform people to like do their due diligence. I always tell people that I'd rather just accumulate projects that I know are building and working hard than like trying to like mint everything every other day.
Yeah.
I mean, if you know, you can make money that way, and I don't want to stop. I'm not going to tell people what to do.
It's just like your risk tolerance almost, you know. If you want to be safe in NFTs, as weird as that sentence sounds, you wouldn't mint, you know, a sketchy project. You would probably mint something. I'm this way. I would mint something that is backed by another team or something that I trust already, and I would do that. But if you're more risky, you get your higher reward. You could just it's like taking the chips to the casino. You could throw the mint around. If you get rugged, you get rugged. If not, you know, you have a great potential project that you're holding right there.
Yeah.
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 I mean, you know, that's hard on the other hand too, because you know there are backed projects, and you can see that. I mean, not to name drop, but don't fuck with felines. Have you looked into that at all?
Yeah, I saw. I haven't looked into it. Me and my buddy like looked at it really quickly around Mint.
There's really not much to look at because they don't give you anything. They've really taken a they don't give a fuck attitude, and when it happens, it happens. But when you see it dropping on big names like Trust Labs and you know other things, it's like, okay, am I missing out because I'm scared?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the FOMO. They can create that FOMO. I remember them. I remember them on a Twitter space. What kind of steered me away from them was they were on a Twitter space, and they were like, "We don't have a roadmap. We don't have this. We're bringing you that. You know, we don't give a fuck attitude." And then I'm just like, all right, this is just basic. They're just basically telling me. They're basically telling me they're not doing anything. They're just minting out the cats, and then it's gonna just trickle away. 99% of the time, that just trickles away. You would literally need the community to come up with something to do with the NFTs and reward the holders and a reason for them to hold. Other than that, it's just going to trickle away down to 0.1 Sol. I mean, that's what I haven't looked at it yet, but I mean, that's kind of
what. It's under 1 Sol. But they have an odd community that is following, that is like, okay, I guess so. You know, but everything about it says, don't do it. Like, they're giving you nothing yet. You don't know anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. I guess we just tell people to just do a little more research, maybe not try to get in every mint.
Yeah, by all means, you can mint as much as you want.
You can. But you're going to get rugged.
You're going to get rugged a bunch.
You're going to get rugged eventually. I don't know a lot of people that make a lot of money, like just degen minting.
Yeah, I think that's probably the turn off. That's really the turn off for me, at least, is I know a lot of people that make money from traditional projects, just buying low, selling high, or just flipping, or you know, they're just aware of what the projects are doing. They know when a good entry point is. So the minting for me is a turn off, especially because it's like, well, I could make money doing that, but it's not. It's more risky, you know, because you don't have unless a team that you know and trust backs it, you don't have that understanding of what the team is like. Yeah. You don't know how good they're gonna be.
I minted like 3 bad cats, right? Because I just didn't know about the project, and now a few weeks later, I have like 15. I have 15 of them because I've spent hours looking into the project, hanging out with the community, talking to the founders. If your founders are very responsive and the founders are part of the community, that's a good sign. They're doxed. You can get in touch with them. When I saw all that, I'm like, okay, you know, I would have made more money if I minted more, but I think it's a better long-term play. And now I'm prepared and ready to actually invest my capital. Yeah. It's tough.
Sure.
It's tough out here.
It is. It definitely is. I mean, I sit here and I'm just like, okay, am I over this? or am I jumping back in and I'm going to go find something? But like, yeah, the research is hard, and
yeah, it's a lot.
Like I said before, like it really was a whole nother language that I had to learn to do this. So I'm still learning it as I go, and I'm sure this is not the first rug, and it won't be my only rugs project, but lessons
Nope.
learned, and
Yeah.
hopefully, like, I think everybody talking about it helps
Mm-hmm.
out, these names that keep on doing it,
Mm-hmm.
people
Mm-hmm.
keep on
Yeah.
remembering and keep on spreading it, because
Mm-hmm.
in the real world, you see somebody that owns a business, and you be like, oh, this guy fucked over this guy, I'd never do business with him.
Yeah.
But here, I mean, they don't even want to give you their Twitter, so it's like, okay,
Yeah.
what do we do? What do? You just listen to the other guy that said this was cool, and you cross your fingers, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a good before we start to wrap up here in a minute. I think that's a good point that you said, was to just keep learning and keep listening to people talk in the space. Like I saw you on a Twitter space last night. I saw you on one like earlier today. And like I just sometimes sit when I'm just sitting there at the end of the night, I'll just leave my phone on like a Twitter space and just listen, and I just learn. I hear from people who have been here. I hear about projects. The space moves so quick that just sitting on a Twitter space for an hour or two can prepare me for the next day or two about what's going on. It's a lot if you're not full-time DGen.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much full-time DGen at this point, but yeah, just staying active and like tuning in, and
especially if you're, if you building up that online presence, you're going to be reaching it. You're going to build a network of people that you trust in the space. And if, you could always ask them and bounce some ideas off them about a certain rugs. Like I don't mint anything without talking to Gig, cause he's the rug master here,
Yeah, I've been through it.
I mean, it doesn't hurt to just as you're doing whatever you're doing in the house. Like for me, I'm either doing something in the house, I'm driving, it's just filling in dead space at that point. So if I can learn something off of any of these spaces, that's cool. If I can get a few laughs, that's great. But it's all knowledge, even if it sounds like bullshit. I mean, listen to Capitulation. Most of the time they're just arguing, but you get stuff out of that. It's really weird, but your time wasted sometimes is not wasted.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah, well, we appreciate you coming on and giving us some feedback. I think I learned a few things today actually too.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it. Check out BettyBoof, guys.
BettyBoof.
She's in the Ice DAO. You're gonna want to get in there. Check it out. Check her out on Twitter. Check me out as well, Geck with Gig. If you like what you saw, be sure to subscribe. Oh, this is going on YouTube, by the way. I didn't know if I let you know that. All right, I'll hit you up in Discord.
Okay, you guys have a great night.
All right, yeah, you have a good one. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, guys, we're trying to build a little catalog of information here on how to not get rugged or taken advantage of. More of this coming. Stay tuned. Bullish.
I mean, she goes, yeah, I could not mint, but then how am I supposed to fold DGen into this?
And she's like, I could not mint, but I got too much FOMO.
Yeah.